Welcome back to Accrued Interest. In today's episode, we're going to review Google's Q1 earnings, and I'm going to give you 3 reasons why I think you should still remain bullish on Google following the earnings release. But first, a brief disclaimer. The information presented on this podcast is not and should not be construed as investment advice. Investors should make their own decisions regarding the prospects of any company discussed on this show. Last Thursday, Google announced its Q1 earnings for the period ending March 31st, 2025. I'm going to share some figures from the company's slide deck, and let's go over the strategy implications of the results that were presented. Number one reason why I'm still bullish on Google is that I believe that the death of Google search advertising has been greatly exaggerated. This is a debate that's not going to be resolved in just any one quarter, and frankly, I think investors are going to need to see OpenAI open up its financials and go public to truly judge them versus Google. Let's go over the highlights for the quarter. Google search ad revenue was up a respectable 10% year over year for Q1. I believe that Google is underestimated in its ability to adapt to the changing AI landscape. The CEO announced that their AI Overviews product currently has about 1.5 billion monthly active users. I think this is key because many people like to cite how many people are using ChatGPT's app, but Google has the advantage of weaving in its AI capabilities into its apps and other services that billions of customers are already using on a daily basis. Google came out and said that the AI Overview section is monetizing at a comparable rate to the rest of search. I think the evidence is clear that AI is currently not cannibalizing Google search at an alarming rate right now, but we're going to need to see this steady double-digit increase in growth continue in the foreseeable future for us to have a better opinion on this issue. Next, I want to highlight that Google reminded everyone that Waymo is one of their other bets that is truly working out. The company announced that Waymo is doing approximately 250,000 weekly passenger trips. To put that in context, that is up about 5x from this time last year when Waymo was doing about 50,000. I expect to hear more good things about Waymo coming out when Uber reports their earnings in the coming days. Next, I'm going to sound like a broken record. Another star of the quarter was more and more investors realizing that YouTube is currently on track to have more ad revenue than Disney for 2025. YouTube breaks out their ad revenue in Google's financials, and that was up a respectable 10% year over year. Google does not break out YouTube subscriptions, but they are growing at a very strong rate, and they are a big driver for the total subscription growth that the company is seeing. As you might remember from other videos I've done, YouTube is currently a leader in television, and it's pulling away from the pack. I like to cite the Nielsen stats that show that YouTube is the #1 source of big screen TV watch time with about 12% of total TV watch time for the month of March. And more importantly, Google and YouTube is pulling away not just from Netflix, but from the rest of the TV ecosystem. Another overhang on Google stock that is not going to be solved with this quarterly report is that investors are waiting for the final results of all of Google's antitrust cases to wrap up. Google is probably going to have to divest its Chrome browser and make other changes, and we still do not know how that's going to play out for the company. Google stock remains cheap. I don't expect the stock to take off until we get the conclusion of the antitrust cases like I just mentioned. Google is trading at about 17 times 2025 GAAP EPS, about 16 times 2026, and a little less than 14 times 2027. All these multiples are relatively cheap compared to Meta as well as other advertising companies, and I think historically, if you're a long-term value investor, you'd be wise to wait it out and buy Google here until the fears around AI subside and the antitrust wraps up. As always, thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more updates on Google and other media companies during Q1 earnings season.